Well, this is just in case anybody's wondering what I'm doing for my next 10-minute challenge. This is all the paperwork that's been, and that's a bag full there, that has been stored up on that little table next to my bed over the last couple of weeks. And so my next few 10 minutes of challenge are going to be to start clearing through this lot. As you can see, I've already started. I've probably done more than 10 minutes already. So this is just in case any of my fellow challengers think that I didn't do anything today. Yeah, right. Well, this evening, this is Monday, we have a total change in plan here. The 2 real bones have gone. We have the 2 rawhide bones now in different positions, but still north and south. We have 1 rhinoceros and the tennis ball. Nothing's over there. Oh, guess what? What did you bring, Bean? Did you bring back the other real... Let me see, Bean. Back up. You brought back the other real bone. You put it back. That's very good. Okay, so you can see he brought back the other real bone. That's very good, Bean. I'm very proud of you. Where's the other one? That's only 1. You had 2 here before. Huh? What are you doing with them? Who's a good boy? Huh? Oh. Let's see where he's going to take it. Where are you going to take it? Away from me, I think. Yeah? Okay, let's put a light on in here so that we can see what you're up to. Oh, you're going to take it to your bed. And guess what? There's the other one. Okay, so enjoy it, Ben. We love you. Good boy. Who's a good boy? Good boy, Ben. Eh? That's a good dog. You look so strange at that angle. Well, hello everybody. This is dear Mama Sal, and it is Monday. A wet, cloudy, socked-in, typical fall day in Vancouver. And gee, you're looking good today. Did I mention that? So it was quite funny because a couple of people have mentioned the fact that I'm quite a happy person. And I was wondering today as I got in the car, am I happy because I vlog? Or do I vlog because I'm happy? Think about that. Because I think part of being a vlogger, if you notice, most of us who vlog, and you understand, I'm small time, but you know, if you look at all the big time people, they're pretty happy people. And they're pretty happy people with very busy lives who make the time to put up vlogs every day. So, you know, you look at it and you go, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Are they happy people because they vlog? Or do they vlog because they're happy? Work that one out. I do love it when you guys give me feedback. It cracks me up. You know, for example, I believe that I must have put out a passing comment over the weekend on one of the vlogs that it must have been a full moon because, you know, some funny stuff was going on. And, you know, Carly was kind enough to write back to me and say, yep, you were right. And that really, I don't know how to describe that. That just sort of cracks me up. It makes me really chuckle because I think, gosh, you know, they really listen. You know, they don't pretend to listen, they really listen. So thanks for that, Carly. That really made me chuckle this morning when I read it. And I got a really nice note back from Aussie Becca, which Aussie Becca I would have replied, except for some reason it wouldn't let me reply to you. And I guess all of you know by now, hopefully you know anyway, that there's a big problem with Google at the moment. And it's not allowing us to be able to respond to all of your messages. It's very selective. You can respond to some. And for example, when I got the warning that told me, Ozzy Becker had left me a note. I got the wording of what she'd left me, but when I tried to go into where she'd left the message, it didn't show her message at all. And so I had no way of answering the message. Makes you just frustrated. But Ozzy Becker, if you listen to this one, know that the intent was there. I did try, and I love you dearly, and I'm delighted that you're happy that I talked about you. Because I really do have this huge place in my heart for you. And for as long as I am a vlogger, you will remain one of a couple in that space, as you know, M being the other one. So thank you so much. Well, somebody wrote to me last week, and the question they asked was really a great question, and it had to do with how do you not overreact to something. We were talking about emotional intelligence, and what they were saying was that they really have a problem when they see abuse to animals. And I think that's like a lot of us, especially those of us who are animal lovers. So I think it's quite normal to get pretty tweaked if you see abuse of animals. I think it's pretty normal to get a sort of thud in your heart, if you know what I mean, when you see the devastation in the Philippines. I think it's pretty normal when your life suddenly falls apart that you absolutely start grieving, and that your emotions are all in the wrong places and all that stuff. I think it's pretty normal when, as I did this morning, you listen to a news clip about a family living in absolute squalor, really filth and everything else, where one is a social worker, a superintendent even, and the other is another government worker, so 2 full-time salaries, 5 adopted children, and they found one chained overnight to the porch. With a chicken around his neck. Well, I think it's quite normal to get a little pissed off with that. If you'll excuse my language. And so I think that it's important that you understand the difference between having an emotional reaction and having it rule your life. So if I can get upset with that, which I did when I went, what? And then I stopped dead and watched the news clip, and then you go, how could anybody do that? And, never mind a social worker. Hello? Aren't you the very people that are meant to protect these children? So you look at it all and you go, Now, the next thing that goes through my mind is, can I do anything about it? I mean, am I going to go stomping down to wherever this is that these people live, and I can't remember where it is, and go and do something about it? I.e., am I going to go and adopt these children or do something, significant for their lives? And the answer is no, of course not. And that's where the shift comes for me. And you go, okay, I can't do anything. It's like the Serenity Prayer, God grant me the serenity to change the things I can. And be aware of the ones that I can't. And whatever it is, I do know it sometime, but for some reason it's gone in my mind. But basically it says, that you do what you can, and if you can't do anything, be okay with it. And I think that's what the difference is that if you come across something where it really affects your soul, and I think that's what happens, it really affects your soul, then you really do need to just say, well, I can't do anything about it. Therefore, it should not, should is a guilt word, so be careful about that. I don't want it to affect my life. In other words, I can feel this pain, I can feel the sadness, but I'm going to get on with my life because I can't do anything about it. Perhaps that's the easiest way to describe it. But I'm going to get on with my life. And I again bring that analogy back. It's like getting angry with the guy in the car that cut you off and is 5 miles away and you're still ranting and raving. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, does it? So, now, for example, with the Philippines, I keep watching, the storm surge videos and stuff like that, and you go, wow, this is devastating. And you know that any minute now all the news crews are going to leave, and its moment in the news will be over, and a year from now there'll be, very little done. And I ask myself, is there anything I can do about this? Yes, there is. I can donate to a worthwhile cause and a safe cause. For example, the Red Cross. And can be pretty assured that the money will go to good use. Or, as is in my case, I actually know people who are in the Philippines who are busy working with the victims at the moment. And these are extremely good people. One is an ex-minister, and you know what I mean? It's like they've got good bones, as they say. And they wrote us a letter, those of us who know them from Canada. We received a letter saying that they are doing this work and would appreciate any support that their friends could spare. So now there's a whole different scenario, which is, okay, I see the problem. Can I do anything about it? Yes, I could donate money, either to the Red Cross or to my friends that I know are down there and will put 100% of the money, 100% into looking after the victims. I know that they will not take the money for themselves. So that's an even better bet. So you see, that way I get to not ignore the problem. I get to feel good about the fact that I've done something, however small. And that's what you've got to look at, however small. I know many of us think, oh gosh, I can't afford very much, therefore it won't help. Well, let's just do this in real terms. Let's say that I can't do very much is $5. There are probably thousands of people who think, oh, but my $5 won't make a difference. But what if thousands of people gave $5? That's a lot of money. So don't ever think that your little contribution is not worth it because it's too small. Think of it in terms of, I wonder how many other people I can convince to give $5. Maybe you want to have a little collection at work or at school or whatever your life, wherever you are in your life. And if you collect enough, even $2 at each, it all helps. So I encourage you, for those that are listening to this and going, that's a good point. I encourage you all to do something that you feel is generous. Something you can afford. Maybe you go without a coffee this week, because that's really what we're talking about. And maybe you decide you're going to go without any of the fancy coffees this week and send all that money. And so it's really, really important for you to differentiate between what you initially process, which is the, oh my God, I can't believe that moment, and then the, okay, what can I do, or what do I intend to do? And if the answer is nothing, then you go, then I need to get on with my life and not let this drain me for the whole day or the whole week or whatever. Now, I don't mind telling you that I've had a couple of things that hit me so hard that I was actually not functional for a day or a couple of days. I remember the death of Princess Diana being one. And the reason that hit me so hard, other than the fact I adored her, was the fact that it happened on my 50th birthday party. Literally, this was a big day in my life, and I had all sorts of people around me, and everybody in the room knew except me. So it was a huge thing. And then when I got home, I found out. In fact, on my way home, I was told about it. And I said, how come nobody told me? And the answer was that nobody wanted to spoil my 50th birthday party. Bless their hearts. And it was a great party, but I literally was spellbound. I was numb for at least a day after that. I wonder if any of you relate to that at all. But I was literally numb. I just couldn't believe that this had happened. And I just kept watching it over and over again. You know what I call CNN glazed look. I couldn't stop watching it. I didn't sleep. I just was in absolute horror that this had happened. So some things will affect you more seriously than others, but on the whole, the trick is see it for what it is, sad, have the emotion. For example, when I heard about this thing with the children this morning, the foster children, I was angry. That would be the emotion. I was sad first, and then I was angry. And oh no, and then I went, let me get near those people. I'd like to have a little discussion with them. But that's just the split second thing. And then I process and go, well, are you going to go down there? And no. So that helps me take that shift. It was a fun weekend on the broadcast, by the way. It really is. I am very, very fortunate. We did 2 broadcasts on a Friday, one on a Saturday, one on a Sunday, and it really was. It was a fun time to be had. Mostly, something happened to me on Saturday that caused quite a stir. I had actually tried to cook some bread, and I cooked the bread in a cylindrical, in a round pipe, if you like. It wasn't a pipe, it's a special form that you can put dough inside, and it will then cook a shaped baguette. And this particular one is like flower shaped, so when you cut it, each of the cuts is, you've got like a little pretty flower where you can put canopies and stuff on top. So anyway, so what happened was, I don't know what happened, but I have to say that this bread oozed out of one end and then hit the end of the oven, and so it formed this bulb at the one end, and then the other end tapered off. Oh gosh. Well, I don't mind telling you, it looked like a private part, a male private part. And of course, somewhere in the broadcast I had mentioned that this had happened, and then of course they all insisted on seeing it, so I went and got it and showed it to them. And then things went downhill from there. There were all these suggestions that I go into the business of making these particular baguettes full time. I mean, it was hysterical, funny. It was really funny. And so you look at it and you go, it was just a little accident that happened by chance. And it actually ended up being 2 days of a lot of laughter. And 2 days because, of course, the next night, next afternoon when I was broadcasting again, on a different broadcast system, I was on Vaughan TV on Sunday. And then, of course, the people from the Tiny Chat broadcast the night before were busy telling the people from Vaughan TV what had happened. So it was really funny. And again, I go back to the fact that I could have just looked at it and put it down and forgotten about it, not made it funny at all. But of course, it got legs, as they say in the media, and I come from a media background to some degree. It had legs. When they say that, they mean that it's not just one story; it's one that continues. That's when they say the story has legs. So this story continued, and everybody started making suggestions about movie titles, and oh gosh, I want to tell you something. It just was so funny, and the point that I want to make about this really is the fact that when I saw it, I could have just ignored it and cut it up and had very nice baguette. Now, of course, I'm a bit scared to cut it in case it screams. Because now it has a whole new character to it. Really funny. Anyway, who knew? And it was a very stressful weekend, actually, and in a lot of ways this weekend was very stressful. And so it was nice to be able to laugh, really laugh. I mean, belly laugh, cry, laughter, laugh. And I am so thankful for all of you that participated in that. And those of you who missed it, I tell you something, it was one of those broadcasts you go, rats, how did I miss that one? Because I think you really had to be there to know how funny it was. But it was, I can't even say it was good, clean fun, because really it wasn't, I guess. But it was fun. So the bottom line of all this is then that a lot of things will affect us on a daily basis. A lot of things. We will hear so many negative stories. We will hear so many things that upset us and make us angry. We will hear so many things that are so sad. And yet, how long we let them affect us is up to us. So, practice if you can. When you hear something and feel that it, really does hit you at your soul level, or it makes you really angry, that you go, yes, I am really angry, but I don't want that to rule my day. Or even I don't want that to ruin my day. Can I do something about it? Yes. Am I going to? No. So if I'm not going to do anything about it, then let me get on with my life as best I can. example, with me in the Philippines things, yep, I need to write a check. And guess who didn't pick up a checkbook this morning? I never pick up a checkbook. I mean, when was the last time I picked up a checkbook? And so it is just a bit of effort now. The effort of actually finding a checkbook, because who carries checkbooks? Maybe you do, I don't. And then writing a check, finding an envelope, finding a stamp. I mean, those are all things that can put you off doing anything. I wonder if any of you relate to that one. You know, it's just a little bit too much effort now. I'm at work. This is dear Mama Sal saying, have a great day. Bye for now.